Wait a second. I didn't see that picture right. Was it the girl that was the poor mafia's like leader girl or whatever? Hi everyone, I'm going to react to Bungo Stray Dogs episode 12, Born Back Ceaselessly into the Past. Okay, and the last episode was the tiger, right? I hope I'm not. Wait, was that it? What happened last episode? Yeah, see, I knew something was wrong. I'm like, and as I was about to talk about, as I was saying, it's the fight between the tiger and Akutaga or whatever. I'm like, I feel like I saw something else after that, so I had to go back and check. And yeah, it was them showing us like how Kenji-kun, oh my goodness, how Kenji works. A case. He's just always so sincere in everything, and then people just basically volunteer information because they think he knows a lot more than he does or whatever. And then his ability is like super strength, and he gets those super strength when he's hungry, but that after he eats, he goes to sleep or whatever. So yeah, and then there was that one part of the episode as well where Akutaga got kidnapped, and then the others went to save him and whatnot. So that's what that last episode was. And before we get into this one, if you guys have my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and please consider supporting my Patreon at patreon.com/filmmini, and now let's start this episode. And here we go. I went back and looked at that fight scene. The way it ended, especially because I didn't quite get it. I didn't get how Kunikida was able to use his ability when he was already trapped and all of that. He created a false door. I'm like, how did that happen? But now that I went through it again, I understand. After the girl captured her and the door opened. When the door opened, Kunikida was there in the door. The door was opened for him, so he used the ability to create another false door that Lucy thought she closed, but she actually didn't. And Asushi was still, holding on, and then he said that he there was this yellow ribbon that he tied around her. He captured her or whatever. And I'm like, so he did that. You did not feel yourself being, I don't know, captured? Well, okay, I guess we'll let that go. I'm assuming that Kunikida also was still using his ability, so she didn't notice the yellow ribbon. Even if you don't notice the yellow ribbon, won't you notice something tied around you? It's not like it was loose. But anyway, so he pulled her towards him and he's like, okay, you either release the ability or we trapped forever. And he let go. She did not want to be trapped, so she released the ability and everyone was out. Before they even got captured, they were in the middle of the street, right? After Kenji got captured, I'm like, they were in the elevator. The girl says, oh, I like a hat. And the next thing we see the hat, but we don't see Kenji. I'm like, where the heck is Kenji? And after that incident, they decided not to do anything alone. So they were pairing themselves up. So they paired Kunikida and Asushi up. And then what about Tanizaki? I've been saying Kunikida since the whole thing. It's Tanizaki. So they paired Tanizaki up with Asushi, and Tanizaki's sister also wanted to go with them. She got captured while they were in the middle of the street. They were walking and talking, and then she just was gone. So they started looking, and then they saw Lucy, and then they were heading toward Lucy. While they were there talking and everything, you see this guy in a lab coat just walking around. Elise Chang. I'm like, who's this dude? What's his deal? I don't know. I've thought at one point that maybe he was part of the guild, you know, but then he wasn't. He got captured, and then he said that he was also looking for his Elise channel or whatever. And when he asked the others, okay, have you seen this girl? He showed a photo. I didn't quite look at the photo, you know. I just saw sort of like an outline. I didn't really look that well. You know, it was on the screen for like a little bit. I didn't look that well. So it didn't occur to me until they were in the middle of battle, and then the guy was just there not doing anything. Everybody else was, oh, Kunikita, not Kunikita, what the Tanizaki was captured so quickly. And then Asushi was doing his thing, you know, jumping around trying to evade Anne and whatnot. And then I'm seeing this guy and I'm like, wait a second. Elise-chan, did the girl in the picture look like that girl we saw at the table and, you know, with the leader of the poor mafia? Wait a second, is this dude the poor mafia leader? And all of that. So I started thinking about all those things. And then there was a point where Asushi was like about to give up. I'm like, boy, I feel like his tendency to wanting to give up is so frequent. I'm like, boy, can you just like hang in there or something? He's like, oh, I have to leave. You know, the only way we can do this is if the Zai and the others come to help us, or why not? He started to leave, started to run away. But then, you know, well, the other guy captured him, you know, with he still had a yellow ribbon on a run. You know, that part was funny to me. When I rewatched that scene, you know, he was trying to evade Anne, and then there was this giant yellow ribbon that sort of like caught him, and then he fell. And then that giant ribbon turned into this small yellow ribbon. I'm like, huh? But okay, that ribbon was still around him as he was trying to run away, and then that's what this dude used to halt his escape. And then he started talking about game theory and that he should go on the offense and all of that. He basically gave him a pep talk, and she was like, yeah, you're right, I have to do this. And then he mentioned the fact that, did I hear correctly, or are the people that are captured the same people that did their very best to try to rescue you when you were captured? I'm like, I think I'll go through the episode again for that particular reason. But I'm like, did they mention that in this episode? Did this girl mention that you were captured and that the people that got captured, you, like your people, went after you? I don't remember that being said in this episode. So that was already a flag to me. Well, it was already another flag because I was already thinking that this guy was the leader of the poor mafia. And then Asushi went after Lucy, right? And then there were these two ants that basically captured him, and then he was being dragged away, and then he got supposedly captured. And then Lucy was just turned toward this guy, and then she was like, maybe I should let you go because you basically helped me capture Asushi and everything. And the guy was just giving off this danger vibes. And even Anne was like not able to move. Like even Anne was afraid of this dude, you know. So I'm like, this all is just giving credence to my thought that this guy is part of the poor mafia, you know, was the leader of the poor mafia and all of that. But then, you know, Asushi was still not captured totally. So when that fight ended and everybody got released, what's her name? I wanted to try to remember without looking at my notes, but whatever. Kyoka showed up and she was like, she was worried about Asushi. And then the leader called out to Asushi, and then you see the second watch along, you see Kyoka just grab hold of Asushi, right? She just grabbed hold of him. She wasn't really shaking or anything, just grabbed hold of him. And then it was after the guy spoke to Asushi. And then Asushi was thinking him and the guy was walking away that she started shaking and all of that. And you guys, I'm like, oh yeah, she was part of the poor mafia, so she should know the leader, right? Oh, so yeah, the guy left and just walked into an alley where his members were waiting for him, and then clearly they killed another member of the gifted, right? And then he's like, anyone that stands in our way, either being whether it's the agency or whether it's the guild, we're gonna annihilate them basically. So yeah. And then they said that his name was Mori Oga and his ability was Vita Sexualist. What the heck does that mean? I have no clue. And I was saying at one point in the episode, like when he was calling out to Elise and I'm looking at him and I'm like, this person reminds me of somebody. After the episode ended, I started thinking about it real hard to try to figure out who it was, and then I did. There's this character in what am I forgetting? I just thought about it. Shaman King. Yeah, there's this character in Shaman King called Faust or whatever, that had the spirit that he works with is this girl called Elisa. It's not Elise, but it's Elisa. So, and then the guy actually also wears like a lab coat. So when I saw him in this lab coat thingy, this white whatever lab coat, and then the girl that she's looking for is called Elise. So I started remembering that particular character. But yeah. So also the guild leader Francis just like landed in a helicopter in the middle of the street. I'm like, oh, okay. He just showed up, offered money to the president so that they can basically give up their license to have an agency or whatever. No, we're not doing that. And he left. And he was like just looking the newspaper. Just look at the newspaper tomorrow or something. And then the next day, this building, I guess that belonged to the poor mafia, just sort of like disappeared. So I think that's what made the leader and the poor mafia go after that one person from the guild that got killed. It's sort of like a retaliation for what the guild did to them, you know. Now he's made an enemy of the poor mafia. Like Francis, he's made an enemy of the poor mafia and the agency. So yeah, he's thinking he's all that. And then they said that the guild was sort of like the poor mafia of the North America that is considered to be a myth or whatever. But then you came all the way from where you were to Japan, and then you started provoking the poor mafia and all. I don't know who you think you are, but like I don't know. I have more faith in the poor mafia than I do him. Probably because he's just so pompous and like I don't know. I don't think whatever this organization is, I don't think they're that good. The way he thinks they're good, I guess we'll see. Thank you guys for watching. And if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. And if you want to see my reaction to the next episode, you can do so by checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/freedomini. And you can also see the full length of this reaction there as well. So thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Bye. Careless, shoot anonymous, heartless, mindless. No one will care about me.